On the news tonight, federal government warns Nigerians against fake civil service recruitment exercise. Osun State government debunks allegation of sinking borehole at the rate of 14 million naira per unit. On the foreign scene, international community condemns escalation of violence in Sudan. Good evening, and we're glad to have you join us on the major reports. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbuola. The management of the Federal Civil Service Commission has warned Nigerians that it has not announced any massive nationwide recruitment into the Federal Civil Service. The Permanent Secretary, Dr. Mary Ogbe, in Abuja, while noting that the alleged 2023-2024 recruitment circulating is fake and fictitious and should be ignored by the general public. In the same vein, the Commission's Deputy Director, Press and Public Relations, Alaba Balogun, in a statement said that the advertised story on recruitment titled FCSC Recruitment 2023-2024 exercise is a typical example of falsehood in its entirety and did not emanate from the Commission. The Independent National Electoral Commission is set to prosecute over 200 persons arrested for various electoral offenses during the just concluded general elections. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, confirmed the receipt of over 50 case files while speaking to newsmen in Abuja. The Nigerian police has transferred the case files of electoral offenses to the electoral umpire. Giving updates on the number of case files INEC offices across the country had received from the police and how many electoral offenders had been handed over to it, the Commission has directed its litigation and prosecution department to study the files and advise it on the prosecution. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said the Commission was setting up a legal team to deal with cases of electoral offenders during the February 25 presidential and National Assembly polls. In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared Senator Ibrahim Mohammed Bomai the winner of the keenly contested Yobe South senatorial election, declaring the results at the FCE Potiskum Collation Center. INEC returning officer Bacha Meleni said Bomai Ibrahim Mohammed of the APC satisfied the requirements of the law and is declared the winner and returned elected. Bomai of the All Progressives Congress polled 69,596 votes to defeat Alilu Magane of the People's Democratic Party, who got 68,885 votes. Others are Yerima Adamu of ADC, who scored 652 votes, Jawuro Ishaku of Labour Party, who got 471 votes, Issa Musa of NNPP, who had 3,247,148 votes. We had the Senator-elect, Bomai thanked the electorate and his supporters for their resilience and love. Massive vote buying characterized today's Ogbaru Federal Constituency supplementary election in Anambra State. Reports said 3 of the leading political parties in the election also reportedly unleashed thugs in various parts of the local government where the poll was being conducted. Findings also indicated that the leading candidates in the election and the political parties are Afam Ogene of the Labour Party, Chuchu Oyema of the People's Democratic Party, and Arize Awogu of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. Many voting centers visited by newsmen within the local government witnessed a huge influx of thugs amidst the massive deployment of security officials. Nigerian leaders have been charged to take up their responsibility of ensuring law and order in tackling the rise of jungle justice. Omotayo Adebodo has more.
Jungle justice is a form of public extrajudicial killings where an alleged criminal is publicly humiliated, beaten, and summarily executed by angry mobs. Most of these mobs' actions have resulted in gruesome murder, inhuman treatments and torture, as well as extrajudicial killings of people accused of committing an offense. Dozens have suffered death through beatings, while others are murdered through stoning and setting ablaze. Speaking with Osbc News, Barrister Bukola Unifade stated that the act is highly condemnable and it's against the provision of the law.
The issue of jungle justice is something that is not good and should not be encouraged in our society. When you are talking about jungle justice, is taking laws or law into your hand.
Speaking in the same vein, Barrister Tumbosun Oladipupo said that jungle justice is as a result of impatience, advising that everyone should always allow law to take its course.
The people ought to be patient when things happen and allow the process made available by law to take its usual course. But you know, our people, they are impatient. They want justice immediately, and justice will be served at the end of the day.
They both urged the appropriate authorities to act now before the extrajudicial killings and self-help justice snowball into dangerous situations that could consume thousands of lives and lead to a complete breakdown of law and order. This is Omotayo Adebodo reporting for Osbc News.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has described the recent appointment of principal officers of the University of Ilesha as a part of the fulfillment of his promises to nurture a sustainable tertiary institution for Ijesha land. In a statement signed by the spokesperson to the governor, Olawale Rasheed, Governor Adeleke reaffirmed his commitment to building a sound university, which he said informed his approval of a leading academic of international repute, Professor Taiwo Ashaolu, as the Vice Chancellor. Commending the applause the new appointment elicited from Ijesha society, Governor Adeleke assured that the many laudable ideas recommended by the erstwhile Ashaolu Committee are now built for implementation. He added that his administration is upholding due process, avoiding politicization of the academic environment, correcting errors of the past, and fulfilling the decades-old dream of the Ijesha people. Osun State government has described the allegation of sinking boreholes at the rate of 14 million naira as not only laughable but a display of ignorance by the opposition party in the state, just as Governor Ademola Adeleke delivered on projects that have direct impact on the lives of residents of Osun State. The spokesperson to the governor, Olawale Rasheed, stated this while speaking with OSBC Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekeleko.
News to say 14 million per ball, even without going into details. But the price across the 332 world is far below what some people are quoting. And eventually, when His Excellency come up with the full detailed report, people of Osun and other stakeholders will commend the governor for managing state finance prudently and for even executing most of this project between the usual market price. You know, when you talk about borehole, people have an average idea of what a contract for borehole will be, but people will not be surprised knowing when governor come up and show what he has been able to do even below market contracting price for those boreholes. So across more than 2/3 of the wards in Osun, people are already benefiting using this borehole water all over. And the whole essence of it is, the whole thing is a stopgap measure before the His Excellency will now move further into the actual issue of pipe-borne water crossings, which has started.
In another development, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has urged Muslims to project lessons learned during the ongoing Ramadan period as shown through the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. The governor, who was represented by Honorable Akiwumi Odejobi, gave the advice at the distribution of valuable goods to people who participated on Osbc TV Ramadan special program at Buran. Aisha Mustafa reports.
The governor explained that religion preaches love and peace, urging Muslims to embrace the two. He also charged people, Muslim and non-Muslim, to steer clear of all vicious acts they have jettisoned when Ramadan ends. Governor Ademola Adeleke encouraged the people of Osun to pray for his administration to succeed.
So which means you are living a double standard life. So
earlier in his address of welcome, the Director General of Osbc, Mr. Rashid Folaranmi, represented by the Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Shola Bolaji, appreciated Governor Adeleke for putting in place such a program that puts a smile on people's face. He also urged people across faiths to not only preach love but demonstrate it.
Show love to our fellow men. We can show love to our brothers and love to our sisters by sharing, just like some of these items will go away with some people today. So I want to plead with us that as we are journeying in our pilgrimage to meet our God, one day, one time, let us remember love at all times.
Highlights of the program were recitation from the Quran and presentation of gifts to those who emerged triumphant in the program. Some of the beneficiaries expressed appreciation to the governor.
Governor, Senator Ademola Jackson,
Aisha Mustafa, Osbc News.
Similarly, Muslim faithful have been enjoined to intensify the level of Allah awareness in their life during the last 10 days of Ramadan. Special Assistant to the Grand Imam of Osun State, Imam Abdul Salam Akiwumi, gave the indication shortly after featuring on Osbc magazine program Saturday Morning Trades. Akiwumi, who said if the period is full of power, added that Muslims should always seek the face of Allah the more by devoting themselves to reading and recitation of Quran in order to receive help from him.
Lecture organized by National House of Representative member representing Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore and Ejigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State, Honorable Bamdele Salam, in honor of late Pa Abdul Salam Olakpade of Awo Jobi of Babasale compound of Awo in Egbedore local government area of Osun State, which also
important of it is that the Laylat al-Qadri will took the seeker to the stages of Almighty Allah, and then it will calm down all the unnecessary crisis in the world, because we are in the last 10 days now. Everywhere is calm. Everywhere is calm. And then because Quran Kareem was revealed during these last 10 days, that is why you have to count the odd days. That is 21, 23, 25, 27, and 29. Be in seclusion. That is staying in a central mosque. We use central mosque, not ordinary mosque. Staying there, reciting the Holy Quran, then making tazkir, that is the remembrance of Almighty Allah, then seeking forgiveness, that is kaulu istighfar, then durud, that is seeking, and then praying for the advancement of blessing upon the soul of Holy Prophet Muhammad. then disengaging yourself from the lively affairs.
I apologize for the mix-up experienced in that report. Parents have been admonished to take good care of their children and teach them the way of Allah for their exemplary lifestyle to be remembered. The guest lecturer Ustaz Musbauddin Urimadegun gave the admonition at the special Ramadan lecture in honor of late Pa Abdusalam Olapade and fundraising support for the Mubaraka Islamic School. Awo Oluwatobiloba Odunuga has details.
Lecture organized by National House of Representative member representing Eden North, Eden South, Egbedore and Ejigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State, Honorable Bamdele Salam, in honor of late Pa Abdusalam Olapade of Awo Jobi of Babasale compound of Awo in Egbedore local government area of Osun State, which also featured a fundraising support for Mubaraka Islamic School. Awo attracted dignitaries from far and near, including Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke, who was represented by the Secretary to the Osun State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, Deputy Speaker, National House of Representatives, Right Honorable Idris Wase, who was represented by Honorable Yusuf Shitu, representing Gwaram Federal Constituency, Jigawa State, Mufasiri of Osogbo, Sheikh Yusuf Abajaoro, monarchs and Islamic scholars, among others. In his lecture, Ustaz Musbauddin Urimadegun urged parents to take good care of their world, especially in the areas of education and moral upbringing, for they will continue to reciprocate that in their society, because their today will tell about what will become of them tomorrow. He added that whatever parents instill in the lives of their children is what they would always work with, noting that what late Pa Abdusalam Olapade nurtured his children with is what people are now enjoying in the life of Honorable Bamdele Salam and others.
It's a lesson to all parents to make sure that when they are having their children, proper grinding, real investment in education should be taken as priority, so that tomorrow, which does not belong to people who fold their hands today, will definitely become theirs.
In his remarks, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke expressed gratitude to the Muslim community for their support at all times. The governor, who was represented by the Secretary to the Osun State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, called for more cooperation from the people, with assurance that his administration will not relent on his electoral promises of ensuring that Osun people enjoy the dividends of democracy even beyond the months of Ramadan.
A lot of people are going through a very hard time, and we should use this period, Ramadan, to preach peace and to show love for our people, especially the needy, the downtrodden.
In their separate remarks, Mufasiri of Osogbo, Sheikh Yusuf Abajaoro, including the Alawo of Awo Oba Abdurazak Adegboye, and the Deputy Speaker, National House of Representatives, Right Honorable Idris Wase, who was represented by Honorable Yusuf Shitu, representing Gwaram Federal Constituency, Jigawa State, enjoined well-meaning individuals to train their words in the way of the Holy Quran, for the teaching will lead them onto the right path. Earlier in his remarks, Honorable representing Eden North, Eden South, Egbedore and Ejigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State, Honorable Bamdele Salam appreciated the support of all, noting that the special Ramadan lecture is organized in remembrance of the good work that his late father established in Awo, among other places.
Every parent has an obligation to raise their children in the knowledge and the fear of God Almighty. Whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, you have to teach your children to know the Almighty God, to love God, to serve God, and to serve humanity. And that is the most important thing that we are emphasizing here today. And like the guest speaker said, you know, one of the things that Almighty Allah will ask from parents is, how did you raise your child? How did you raise your children? So we have that responsibility as parents to teach our children to fear the Almighty Allah, to love fellow human beings, to serve the Almighty Allah, and to serve the community of people.
The special Ramadan lecture also featured Quranic recitation and 25 million naira fundraising in support of the Mubaraka Islamic School, Awo, which was founded by late Pa Abdusalam Olapade, the father of Honorable Bamdele Salam, among others. Uluwa Tobiloba Odunuga, Osbc News.
You are welcome to our sports segment. In our first title of the 2023 athletics season at the Tom Jones Invitational in the final of the women's 100 meters hurdles in Florida. Omotayo Adibodo reports.
The Nigerian track and field sensation Tobi Amusan will compete at her first hurdle race of the year, as she will look to build on last year's phenomenal success, which resulted into her setting a new record championship in Oregon. Amusan is also listed to compete in the 100-meter dash event in Florida, as she works on perfecting her speed. Despite not having completed in the sprint hurdle this season, Amusan is expected to make a quick start this weekend at the James G. Priestley Stadium in Gainesville. The women's 100-meter hurdle Olympic development event promises to be a closely contested race and even tough Amusan start as the favorite. The battle for the title should be closely contested. Amusan, a phenomenal athlete, has already made a name for herself in the world of track and field, where she holds many records, including the world, Commonwealth, African and national record in the 100-meter hurdle event. With the World Athletics Championship a few months away, Amusan's performance this weekend will provide valuable insight into her form and readiness for the upcoming global competition. In the meantime, Super Eagles of Nigeria Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has been ranked 4th best player in this season's UEFA Champions League. Osimhen is one of the 5 Napoli stars who made the top 10 best players list in this season's competition. At number 1 is Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. and Haaland of Manchester City occupies 2nd spot. At number 5 is Karim Benzema, while City and 3 Lions of England defender John Stones is at number 10. In this season's competition, Osimhen has scored 4 goals in 5 appearances, which has helped Napoli to a first ever quarterfinals qualification. Unfortunately, he did not feature in the quarterfinal first leg tie away to AC Milan, which Napoli lost 1-0 due to injury. And after missing Napoli's last 3 games, Osimhen is back in the squad for this weekend's Serie A tie with Verona. Omotayo Adibodo for Osbc News.
And on the foreign side, the international community has condemned the escalation of violence in Sudan's capital Khartoum. Heavy gunfire and blasts were reported following days of tension between the armed forces and the paramilitary rapid support forces. Countries were quick to denounce the violence and call for calm, with fighting underway for Khartoum's airports, military bases, the presidential palace, and the residence of the army chief. United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the situation in Sudan was fragile, but insisted there was still an opportunity to complete a transition to a civilian-led government, urging all actors to stop the violence and avoid further escalations or troop mobilizations, and continue talks to resolve outstanding issues. Also, the United Nations Special Envoy for Sudan, Volker Perthes, and European Union Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell strongly condemned the eruption of fighting in the country and urged an immediate halt to the violence for the safety of the Sudanese people. To end the major reports, here's a recap of some of the top stories. Federal government has warned Nigerians against any civil service recruitment exercise, describing it as a fake news. We also told you that Osun State government has debunked allegation of sinking boreholes at the rate of 14 million naira per unit, reiterated commitment on execution of projects that have direct impact on people. While on the foreign scene, we brought you a report that the international community has condemned the escalation of violence in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. And that ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Adebari Jimakinde. I'm Olubomi Ajiboye saying good night.